Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Now, in the world of AI, speed is really the easy part. The hard part is trust. Today, we're going to break down a critical process for any professional who's using AI, how you can guarantee its outputs are reliable and, frankly, safe enough for your most important work. And this right here gets to the heart of the matter. We all love the efficiency that AI brings to the table, but a single mistake in a client email or a report to leadership, well, that can be incredibly costly. So the real question is, how do we get all of the benefits of AI without taking on all of the risk? The solution we're exploring today comes from a LinkedIn article by Aytekin Tank, published on December 31st, 2025. It's titled, How to Make AI Check Its Own Work Before It Reaches Customers. We'll break this down into 4 parts. First, we'll clearly define the core reliability problem. Then we'll introduce a powerful pattern for safety. We'll detail the step-by-step workflow. And finally, we'll land on the one guiding principle you really need to use AI responsibly. Okay, let's dive into this first section. The initial step is to identify exactly where AI-driven mistakes can cause the most professional damage. You see, not all AI use cases are created equal. Some carry a much higher level of risk. So just think about the most critical documents you handle every day. Anything that's client-facing, legally binding, or gets sent up to leadership. It all demands perfect accuracy. Even a small error in a compliance document or a sales email can have immediate and very negative consequences. So, having identified the risks, we can now turn to the solution. The source article proposes a repeatable pattern, one that's built on 4 distinct safety habits. What's important here is that this pattern is tool agnostic. It's about the process, not the specific software you happen to be using. These are the 4 pillars of the workflow: grounding, validation, self-check, and fallback. You can think of them as a series of gates that an AI's output has to pass through before it's ever considered safe enough to use. We're going to examine each one in detail. All right, so how do these 4 habits come together to build a practical workflow? Let's break it down step by step. This is really where the abstract concepts become concrete, actionable steps. The first and arguably the most crucial step is grounding. This involves providing the AI with a very specific, approved knowledge base and then instructing it to only use that information. This is a direct countermeasure to the tendency of AI models to hallucinate or simply invent facts when they don't know an answer. Now, what's really interesting is just how practical this is. These grounding documents are things you probably already have: company policies, product specs, approved legal boilerplate. By limiting the AI to these trusted sources, you're establishing a firm, factual boundary for its responses. After the AI creates a first draft based on that grounded material, the next step is validation. Here, you essentially prompt the AI to act as its own critic. It has to review its own draft and identify any potential inaccuracies, unclear statements, or anything that wasn't explicitly covered in the source document. And the crucial point here is that validation isn't just about finding errors. The AI is then instructed to generate a second draft, specifically correcting every single issue it just listed. It's an iterative process that systematically improves the quality and the safety of the final output. So, with a revised draft in hand, we move on to the self-check. This is a quantitative gate. You instruct the AI to score its own work against a predefined rubric. And this is what transforms a subjective quality assessment into a measurable, objective data point. For example, you could have the AI score its own draft on key metrics like accuracy, clarity, and potential risk. Then you set a very simple rule. If any of those scores is, say, below a 4 out of 5, the entire automated process stops right there. This, of course, leads to the next logical question. What happens when the AI gives itself a low score? The process can't just fail silently. That would defeat the entire point of this safety pattern. The answer is the fallback, or what we can call the escalation step. If that self-check fails, the automation halts and it flags the output for human review. This is the essential human-in-the-loop component that acts as the ultimate safety net, ensuring a person intervenes anytime the AI expresses uncertainty. You see, this entire workflow is built on a very fundamental principle about how we should approach working with AI, especially in a professional context. It really requires a significant shift from our typical mindset about new technology. The common but incorrect approach is to trust AI by default, and then we only correct it when we happen to find an error. The correct professional mindset is the exact opposite. Assume nothing and require the AI to prove that its output is safe and accurate on every single task, every single time. This quote from the source article is really the ultimate takeaway. Building workflows where AI has to constantly check its own work and earn your trust, that is the key to leveraging its power safely and effectively in your career. By implementing this self-check pattern, you're not just using AI, you're mastering it. Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you found this breakdown valuable, please help us reach more professionals by subscribing to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and please like and share this with your network to keep the conversation going.